Hello everyone and welcome in to the 2023 Samui Swine Classic 10 presented by Prodigy Disc. I'm Terry Miller, the disc golf guy, as we're here on the Samui Island in Thailand, and we've got a great final card for you. Philo, Tomi, Scott, and Evan is going to rejoin us, and I've got a very special guest, everyone. Tomi's in studio on the mic. Welcome.
Thank you, Terry. It's nice to be here. It's an honor, and let's see. It's gonna be a pretty nice final, I would say. So let's enjoy. And
hole number one, so easy, right? At just 44 meters, or is it nerve-wracking?
it's a hole you definitely want to get, but it's always like shaking your hands, and it's not that easy. Philo parks there, nice.
Yeah, and we talked in round number one, or I talked in round number one. I said you were like 7 feet 3, 7 feet 4. I guess we can, fix all the rumors. How tall are you really?
6'7".
Okay, so more than 2 meters, and you're taller than Scott.
Yeah, like 1 centimeter taller.
That's crazy. Scott went with the jump putt as he's done every other round, and now here's Evan.
Evan catch there. Pretty early tree, but it's still on the second circle.
Beautiful day out in Samui as Evan draws metal there, but it's beautiful. And we've had round 2 was really nice, and round 3 looks like it's going to be really nice, but maybe a little bit of wind for the first time.
Yeah, but it's not that bad wind, as we have been playing on the pretty heavy rain here. So I think this is gonna be the best weather I think we're gonna have.
So you started out the round 4 behind Philo, and you're both gonna birdie, so you're still 4 behind. But how do you feel about scoring on this course? Do you feel like it's really easy to score on this course?
Yeah, it's not that hard course. It's pretty technical. If you just keep shooting your shots, pretty basic shots, and you just need to nail the putts. That's pretty much it. But yeah, it's very scoreable course.
Hole 2 though is one of the more difficult holes. I always say hole 2 and 4 are the 2 most difficult. Is that fair?
Yeah. It's pretty much the same shot, but a lot of trees and the shape of the hole is not that easy.
You got through almost everything. Were you happy with that shot?
Yeah. Always when I get a look on the basket here, it's definitely I have done something right.
And what do you think about Scott going with an overhand instead of a forehand?
That was like perfect shot for Scott, but he hits the middle tree here, and that's kind of unfortunate. But he's been putting pretty well from the circle too, so I think he can maybe, let's see what he can do from there.
And that is perfect. Beautiful shot by Evan.
Philo here from maybe 55 feet. Oh, nice try.
And now you won this event last year. I was here in 2019 and 2020, but 2021 and 2022 with COVID, everything very different. But you won it in 2022, didn't you?
Yeah. I came here to Thailand, and I wasn't planning to play the tournaments last year, but I was rehabbing my lower back injury, and it started to feel good. So I was like, okay, let's play the tournaments, and I happened to win the both Samui tournaments. So now I came here to defend my titles.
Yeah. So you won at the Heiser Brownie in 2022. The next week was the Samui Swine. You won that. Then you came back, like you said, to defend your title in this year. You did that at Heiser Brownie, and now you're trying to. So you're going for 4 wins here on the island of Samui.
Yeah. And there was even one tournament in Pattaya in December.
And you won that too.
I won that too, yeah.
So you've never lost a tournament in Thailand.
Yeah.
So there's a lot riding on this round. As now we're heading over to hole 3. It's an island hole. Very short as well, just 59 meters.
And that's pretty nice job from Evan.
Was the island this small last year? Because it's definitely smaller than when I was here in 2020, and it's very small this year. Was it this small last year, the island, or no?
No, it's
Okay.
been the line has been shortened at like 5 meters
Okay.
or something like that. But yeah, it's getting more tough. And this is like the hole where you play, you get birdie or bogey.
Yeah.
It's not really a par hole, so it's like this course, there is a lot of bogey opportunities, but a lot of birdies waiting there. This is a special route that Scott is playing. I never seen
No one takes that
anybody.
route.
Yeah, but I was watching Scott throw that shot in the tournament, and I think it was pretty good game plan for him.
Scott getting razzed by the goose. Oh, and just short. And you can understand because the OB is directly behind the basket, and so it's easy to come up short on this putt because you're worried about the OB.
Yeah, it's like 10 feet behind the basket, I think. So
Yeah.
it's dangerous.
And Philo just pitched up. He didn't even go for the putt, and so that's going to be a two-stroke swing between you and Philo.
Yeah, this hole, it's making to play normally. Like it's 2 or 4. It's tough hole. Now it's only two separate score with us.
Evan misses his putt, so he's going to take one of those threes that we don't see too often, like you're talking about. Scott's going to do the same. This is more threes than you normally see on this hole. Did you hit the island all 5 times so far? Did you hit the island? I know you have one more to play at, but did you hit it in round 2?
I'm not sure. I think I hit every time on the
Yeah.
island.
So here we are on hole number 4, and this is for sure the toughest hole on the course.
Yeah, very technical par 3, like 92 meters, but there is a lot of trees.
And the forehand is the perfect shot if you have it, especially one as good as that.
Wow, and Evan shows here like the perfect line how to throw this shot, making it look easy.
And I shared some time with Evan at the airport just in the last couple of days since this event and learned he's even more of an ultimate background and player than I had realized. So he played at the AUDL level and also worked with a program to travel around, and he's taught ultimate in 10 different countries and run clinics and camps. So very impressive. And to see him into disc golf and here on a lead card, also very cool.
Okay, I didn't know that from Evan, but that sounds pretty nice.
Did you ever play any ultimate?
No, I haven't actually. Maybe once in school when I was younger, but not like I would remember.
So if you get past the trees and into the opening where Scott is, that's actually a pretty good spot. Anywhere that gives you even a look at a putt, you're usually pretty happy with that.
Yeah, for sure.
And Evan's actually deep of the basket, putting back at it, so he's going to have to settle for a par, but a stress-free one. And now you're trying to work hard for your 3.
Yeah, I was on the right side with my opening shot, so I needed to go higher from around the like right side, and there was actually much more room than on the fairway, so I got the par. I'm happy with that.
And do you putt any different on these baskets? They're homemade and they've been here for a few years, and obviously they catch a little light, so to speak. Do you change your putt at all for this weekend?
No, I'm like a lofty putter anyway, so for me it's like I'm aiming pretty much on the bottom of the basket, so it was working for me, the baskets. But the change was pretty heavy, and well, it's like homemade baskets.
Yeah.
But not bad for homemade.
No. Big thanks to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle. They're working on a coupon code. I think right now it's Disc Golf Guy, and that should get you a discount over on the distinguisheddoodle.com.
Hole 5, 93 meters. It's straight putter, mid-range shot, but also a lot of trees blocking the perfect lines there.
Yeah, I was going to say, every line you want to take, there's a tree there. So, I mean, there's definitely gaps, but it's also very easy to hit a tree.
But this is very nice gameplay. I think Scott was doing that every round pretty well.
Yeah, he threw a lot of overhands during this tournament. Do you throw any overhands?
No,
if
not here.
You never try to, so to speak, right?
Yeah, no, not here. There was not any shots I needed to do. Philo getting a little bit frustrated, hitting the trees.
Yeah, he has the 2-stroke lead.
This should be a routine upshot for Philo. Yep.
Yeah, no problem at all for him. There's some sand that comes into play right around this basket, so it slows down, and there's a slope downhill, but there's also some sand there. So an approach shot, you have to be playing for that and know that it's going to slow it down a little bit. And you're putting, first of all, you're have an open or a mixed bag, right? You're not sponsored, and you're putting there with a Fierce. Is that what you said?
Yeah. I like the mold Fierce, Paige Pierce's putter. It's pretty understable and low profile, so it just fits my hand. That's why I like to putt with it, and it's glidey. But yeah, I have a mixed bag. I don't have like especially some brand. I have like Discmania, Innova, and Discraft, Prodigy, and yeah, pretty much everything.
Are you waiting? This is a good time to talk about it. Are you waiting for someone to call you possibly, or would you be interested in sponsorship?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
If someone wants to sponsor me, I'm always up for a little talk and yeah, it doesn't really matter what discs I throw, because I think every brand has nowadays like all the good molds, so it's like, yeah.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, you could throw anything. And it's funny that you say you like the Pierce putter, or the Fierce, that has a low profile because it fits your hands. You have ginormous hands.
No,
so...
actually I don't have that big hand.
Oh, yes they are.
I'm just big guy, but
okay.
but when I saw Nigel's,
Yes.
Nigel's was running this Samui Swine event. When I saw his hand, it's like giant.
Yeah, Nigel can palm the top of a frisbee. He can put all of his fingers over the top of a disc, not the inside and the rim, but the top of a disc. He can take a mid-range, a buzz, or a rock, or whatever,
Yeah,
and palm the top of it. It's incredible. And a good shot here by Philo, a nice forehand. We saw Scott get hung up, so he's going to he has struggled on this hole every single time he's played it. I think he's only had one birdie so far in 4 attempts. And now this is to save par.
Scott is normally pretty good on this, and oh, that was so close.
If I would have stayed still, that was going in.
That's why I make fun of people that do that.
No, it was going in, and I made it miss by walking.
Like I said, I don't feel like people run down their putts as much as they used to. There was a point in disc golf where everybody was running down their putts before they were in, and I feel like people don't do that as much anymore, and I always laughed because you look silly when you're running after it and it's not going in. But that's just me.
Philo with a nice birdie there.
That's going to bring him to just 1 under through 6, which is kind of feels like a slow start.
Yeah, Yeah, it's definitely slow start, and here it's like the first 4 holes where you want to get 2-3 down at least. If you get 4 down, it's gonna be a good round already, because the last part it's I think much easier. But for example, for Scott, it's not that easy. I think he plays better the front part.
And what are you throwing for your overstable forehand there?
MD5 from Discmania.
Interesting.
Overstable disc. Yeah, overstable mid-range.
Yeah, not a lot of people will forehand a mid-range this far. So that's a really interesting play.
Yeah, but yeah, 77 meters. It's doable, I think.
I'm not second guessing it. I'm just saying it doesn't feel like it's that common of a play.
Yeah.
And Philo's kind of struggled on this hole as well, hole 7 throughout this weekend.
Scott with another thumber.
Yep. We saw him hit the tree on the left in an earlier round, and then he went out of bounds. And that one comes up just short of the out of bounds, so he'll have a look for birdie. And this isn't a very high percentage shot or look. I mean, he can give it a good shot, but he had to get creative there. A little bit of frustration, and I can understand he has really struggled on the tee here of hole number 7, now 5 consecutive times.
Evan has this nice try on the basket, not hitting low.
Oh,
I think that was like the first miss for me of the tournament.
really?
Yeah.
So Scott has the chance to get the only birdie on the card, which is kind of surprising because this hole isn't that tough. I mean, there's of course OB on the left and the right and behind it, but it's really not that tough of a hole.
Yeah, it's not that long hole. There's the only thing here is like if you get so unlucky that you do the perfect line, but you hit the trees, what is in the middle, because they are pretty much blocking sometimes like perfect throws. But yeah, it's not the hardest one on this course.
So hole 8, we've got 8, 9, 10, and 11 to play here in the front. Scott's going to go with a backhand. I've seen him now throw 2 or 3 different lines and shots here, and they've almost all been terrible. So going over this creek one way and then coming back over it on this hole have been very troublesome for Scott, which I'm really surprised to see. And you get hung up at least you didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah, Scott has their like pretty rare backhand shot.
Yeah.
Because he didn't throw many of backhands on this weekend.
That might have been the only backhand I think I've seen in 2
possibly,
rounds,
yeah.
2.5 rounds. I think that might be the first actual backhand drive he's thrown.
Philo looking pretty perfect line here. Yeah, that's gonna be in circle.
Great shot. I think Scott told me he was going to make this.
I wouldn't be surprised if he makes this. Scott was telling me after tournament that this was his best circle 2 putting tournament ever.
Yeah, I was thinking during round 1, if he putts like this, how is he not winning every tournament? But he then later, like you said, off the front. That would have been a good bonus. But yeah, Scott said that he felt like this is one of the best putting performances he's ever had, in recent memory. So very impressive.
Yeah, and that's pretty much to say from a guy who has been playing forever.
Yeah.
Philo gets the birdie there.
Yep, he's going to extend his lead to 3 over you. And do you think at all about the scores of where Scott or Evan are right now? Are you thinking about their scores at all? Or are
Not
you
too
just focused
much.
on you and Philo?
I was focusing on Philo more, not really on Scott, because I was just trying to catch Philo.
Sure.
But yeah, I was still trying to not think too much about it and just try to play one round at a time and try to score at least like, well, I was aiming for 15 down, but
Okay.
yeah.
What
Let's
did
see.
first round you shot? Did you shoot a?
First round,
Yeah,
9 down.
9 down. Okay, that's what
Yeah,
I
it
thought.
was the rainy day. It was the lowest.
Yeah, and then during this round, or I'm sorry, during round 2, you shot a 13 under, which is closer
Yes.
to what you would expect.
Yeah. Yeah. In this course, you want to play every time like double digits
Yeah.
at least. And the more you go under, it's better.
Scott gets through everything going that inside route, which is a really unique route to take. Oh, that looked a little early. Are you trying to play straight at me and then have it stall, or are you trying to cut the corner early and have it kind of skip?
I'm playing the stall shot. There is the stall hyzer, which is pretty good shot on this, but
Yeah.
there's like 3 different gaps where you can go. Like it's you just play with your best shot what you can do, and now I'm finding all the trees here.
There's about 20 trees on this hole, and you just found 2 of them, and you have a long putt. This is way deep in circle 2. Oh, and you get it to that was longer than your drive. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, it was ace.
That's a great save.
Yeah, an important one. Oh, and Evan copying the line and making a nice birdie there.
So Evan is now 4 under through 9. And Philo does get the birdie. So you mentioned your, forehanding an M5, or a MD5. If you were to play this course with just one disc, you could only bring out one disc for the round. What would that one disc be?
Good question, but I think maybe a Rhino or PA3, which I have here.
Okay.
But probably it would be the PA3 because you can throw it everywhere.
Yep. Okay. And so after that bad kick, Evan actually goes to the right and finds the OB.
That's really unfortunate kick
Yeah.
for Evan.
I was saying that when you're throwing this tee shot, it feels like identical to the previous tee shot, right? You're just trying to throw it straight out and then let it kind of stall to the basket.
Yeah, pretty much. There's like 3 holes that plays
Very similar.
Yeah.
Scott with the goofy route.
Scott getting creative again.
And it pays off. So that's what I need you guys to put in the comment section. What's the one disc you would play this course with? If you were to come out here knowing the longest hole is 304 feet or 7, whatever it is, what's the one disc you would bring to the course? Put that in the comments so you could be eligible to win. And this looks good. Okay, that'll work.
Yeah, that's a green hit.
And a very unique putting routine for Evan, how he kind of rocks back and forth on his straddle putt. And we didn't see him in round 1, but I heard his putting was lights out. I mean, he shot the same score as Philo. He shot 12 under, but I heard his putting was just lights out. Wow. So Philo not able to capitalize on a pretty short hole. Or short putt, at least.
Let's see what I can do.
Oh, no.
Same
You had the
thing.
chance to pick up the stroke back.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's got to be frustrating.
It was. And yeah, it was a lot of pressure there.
Yeah,
So,
you were thinking about getting that stroke back.
yeah, too much.
So we'll have hole 11, and then, of course, one more round of 11 after this. So just 12 holes left to play. And right now, you're 3 behind Philo. And you're tied with Scott, because Scott birdies. And Evan just 1 behind him. And I had to get a pan my winnings from the boat bar putting competition. I won that bag, and then ultimately I didn't have the space to take it back with me. So it got sold, and then Evan was using it. So that's how we do it on the island.
And Scott going with Tamer again. And it's working.
It's very work, yeah.
Under the basket. Yeah, the putting champion. Congrats, man.
Thank you, thank you. Philo and I went into a playoff, and then during the first round of the playoff, we tied, and then we had another playoff or a sudden death to that, and I ended up taking down Philo. So I am proud to say I'm the 2023 Samui Swine Boat Bar Putting Champion. Did I beat you? Did you do it?
Yeah, you beat me.
Wow,
you beat me
I got
easily.
lucky. So you're pretty close to the basket, and the scores are so much tighter. I mean, looking at all 3 of you, that are behind Philo, you guys are very, very tight in scores with just, 11 and a half holes to play. And Philo in front of the gallery makes it.
Great birdie there by Philo.
So he'll momentarily be up 5 on you.
Evan makes the putt for birdie. I think it's gonna be a star frame here.
It's looking like it. And don't you guys all ring the chains? Is it, you do that in Finland or no?
Not too
not
much.
during-
Not
okay.
too much. I think the thing is started from Czech Republic, maybe.
All right, well,
From Konopiste.
you guys are going to have to check out the back 11. That's been the front half. Thanks, like, share, and subscribe. Tommy and I will be back for the second half and the conclusion of the Samui Swine 10 presented by Prodigy Disc. We'll see you in a minute.